Hey guys, thanks so much for being here for my Riverdale chat. I'm going to say hi to all of you who are in the room. Mama Kay, Araceli, Vanessa, Roa, let's see who else. Eli, Deja, Fred, Mel or Mal. Thank you guys so much for being here. And let's talk a little bit about last night's episode. It was pretty much, well, there was a lot of different things that happened, but it was kind of devoted. Bracho's here, Tomas is here, devoted, and Brittany, devoted to the unveiling of Mrs. Grundy, which, honestly, there wasn't like some huge info there because the promo from last week pretty much gave all of that away. The only big bombshell was the fact that she had to leave her job. And some think she's going to be gone forever, and others think she will come back in some way. Callie's here, Mega X is here, Emilio, Fort Walton Beach Girl, K. Marie, Elliot, Alicia. Thank you guys so much for being here. The only thing, a bit of criticism that I have about the show so far is that it's become a show, at least this far, that's really hard to theorize about the main mystery as to who killed Jason, especially knowing that the killer will be revealed at the end of the season. And I know we still have several episodes left, but I'm still not, able to talk to you guys and be like, hey, this is who my main suspect is. I'm really kind of blank on that. I don't have a solid person that I can really back and be like, here's why I think this person is the suspect. So that's kind of hard for me because we are going to need to know by the end of the season, and I'm hoping, pretty soon we can start getting some concrete clues as to who did this so we can have some main suspects here. Elliot loves Riverdale. Firkin hopes that Miss Grundy is gone forever. As you know, this woman, in my opinion, is sick because she was immediately going after a new guy, just like I thought. She didn't care anything about Archie. She was just using him because she has some sort of, honestly, addiction, and she was moving on to another guy by the end of the episode. So I really think that they should have pushed this more and put her in jail instead of just like letting her resign. I mean, even if they had fired her, it might have made it harder for her to get another job in a freaking high school. Yeah, this is the CW show, and I believe that you can watch these episodes on the CW app. I haven't tried it because I've been watching it in real time, but that's what they keep advertising. So I don't know if that's free or not, but I would assume so. Luna Moon says, you feel like she's got something to do with something. I'm with you on this. She taught Jason, and she's got to have, something's going on. I agree. Now, I don't know if that something was just the fact that she had an affair with him. I'm kind of thinking she did. He has similar look to Archie with the red hair. But I still don't think she is our killer. I just feel like they devoted a lot of time on her as a red herring, which I'm like, I really want to get down to who it could be. Of course, I've had Polly as someone in the back of my mind as a suspect. We've yet to meet her. We're supposed to meet her not next week, but the next. So I don't know if anything's going to come out of that or not, but I don't have really a lot of great, I mean, I could tell you like this person's kind of shady or this or that, but I have no motive. I don't have I just don't feel like I have enough information to be like making a theory video or anything yet at this point. So that's the only thing that's a little bit frustrating. So Richie thinks it might be Alice Cooper, who is Betty's mom, or Grundy. Well, those are the two people who they've made look the most suspicious. So we don't know this series yet. We don't know if it's going to be an obvious series. Some series, and especially some teen series, make the killer obvious, and I'm hoping that's not the case. Like, they'll make someone look really suspicious and then it ends up being that person, I hope that's not what happens with this. But yes, those two people look really shady. But, last night we learned that Josie's mom, who is the principal, played by Robin Givens, she's got some shadiness going on. She's accepting a trade out. She's accepting money from Veronica's mom. Something's up with her. I'm not saying she's involved at all in the murder, but there's something up with that. But I would like to have some more flashback scenes or whatever about the night Jason died. I feel like we didn't really touch on much of Jason's death in last night's episode. Not to say I didn't like the episode, because I did. But as far as figuring out this mystery and knowing that this is not a kind of show that makes us wait the whole series to find out who killed Jason, but this season. So it's like, I wish we'd spend a little bit more time on that. Okay, there's a lot of comments here. If I mean, she's the mayor. I'm sorry. You're exactly right. She's the mayor. Josie's mom is the mayor, not the principal. So if I missed you, please just keep on commenting again. Yeah, she's the mayor, definitely. Okay, Richie cannot believe that Alice freaking Cooper was the only person who called Grundy for what she is, a child predator. Right, so normally don't like Betty's mom at all, but she was the only one who seemed to have a serious problem with this. Now, I think she wanted to have a serious problem with it, not just because this woman was sick, but because she doesn't like Archie, and she was trying to make an example out of why her daughter should stay away from Archie because Archie is sleeping with a teacher. And she said, you know, it's not just about Grundy, it's about you, Archie, because you made that decision to have this relationship with her. You're old enough to know that this is wrong. Still, when it's viewed legally, it's going to be she goes to jail because she's manipulating a minor. So regardless if he went into this knowing it was not right, but he did it anyway, she's the older person. She should know better. But they're not even going there because they just let her walk away and go free. Let's see. Mal says Miss Grundy must have had an affair, and that's why you feel like she'll come back. I mean, I think that when she was at these other schools, I don't believe her whole story about the abusive husband. I mean, yes, maybe she was married, and I'm sorry if that actually happened, but I really think she was leaving these schools because she was getting caught. Maybe she did serve some time in jail because she was having affairs with students, and she had to, something big must have gone down at the last school because she had to change her name and everything. I do like Kevin's new love interest, and I'll give you a couple of my thoughts on that. Because he is a member of this motorcycle gang, Serpent, whatever. What was it called? Serpent something. I've forgotten it. Very funny. I'm wondering, like, if Kevin will want to kind of keep it under wraps because it doesn't really go with his image, or how he's going to feel about that, because we know how everyone in the town feels about those people. So I'm wondering if that will hinder the relationship or anything, because people are not going to think the best of this guy because he's with the motorcycle gang. Fred can't decide if you like Veronica's mom or not. Well, I don't have a real issue with her, but I definitely think she has some skeletons in her closet. I don't believe really the spiel she gave to Veronica about it all being her husband. I think she's dealing with some shady stuff. I don't find her to be completely innocent. I think she wants her daughter to believe, like, yeah, I'm not doing anything wrong. Luna Moon says you find it interesting how they introduced Jughead's father and his connection with the construction site and the biker gang. Yeah, and the other thing that we need to talk about is the photo of Jughead and a younger girl. I think that's his sister. I don't know if we necessarily have met this sister because she seemed a lot younger than him, so I'm feeling like she might not be high school age yet, but I don't know. I'm wondering, I know that's going to come into play or they wouldn't have shown that. But if you guys feel differently and feel like we know her or whatever, let me know. But she just seemed, like she seemed several years younger in that photo, but maybe he was just a tall kid. I don't know. Let me see how to say your name here. Onjin says the guy that Kevin was kissing stole his keys and broke into his house. That's your theory. Brittany thinks says at least we got confirmation why Alice hates Archie, because Betty is like Polly and Archie is like Jason. Right. So I think, and she kind of made statements about this last week that she's scared for another one of her kids to, be wild and not focus on school. And we think, that Polly's in this mental hospital or whatever. We still don't really know the whole story on that. Not sure if that's true. But, she's so scared that Betty will kind of go down the wrong path and, throw away her life, basically. I think she kind of feels like Polly threw away her life. Mega thinks that Grundy has to somehow tie into something else that's happening. Otherwise, that storyline really doesn't matter and seems a bit pointless. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I mean, especially after the revelation that she had a relationship with Jason, even though it wasn't stated that she had a relationship. But Betty felt weird about that. Like, she taught him, and when she teaches people, something else might be going on. So, I mean, I'm really hoping she's not his killer, just because they spent an entire episode on this woman making her look terrible, and she is. But I feel like that would be so underwhelming if she was this killer. She could be the killer because she was with Jason. Well, I don't know. I'm not really sure because, he wasn't killed the day that she was with Archie, but she could have something to do with it. Absolutely. Okay, hold on. Let me get to some more comments here. Richie's saying that Jughead's younger sister was named Jellybean. You're thinking maybe she lives with their mother or she died in an accident. So I think we'll definitely learn more about her. If she's alive, I think we'll meet her. I don't know. If not, we'll find out what happened. We just kind of got a teaser there, I'm very excited, as Racho was saying, to meet Polly. And I don't know if we're going to meet her in real time or if we're going to see her in flashback mode or what's up with that. But I'm curious to finally meet this girl and to see if she's suspicious or what her deal is. I'm just really excited. Let's see. Jesse says, watch Archie be the one who killed Jason. Well, that would be super shocking. I mean, I still, as much as you guys want Betty to be the killer, and I still feel like she has a dark side, I'm going to be really shocked if they take a main character on a brand new series and announce them at the end of the first season as a killer, because where do we go from here? But maybe they have a plan if that's what's going on. I just keep going back to this guy, one of the writers who I follow on Twitter, who says, you know, he's asking people every week, like, who do we think killed Jason? Like, we want you guys to figure it out. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. You haven't given us enough clues. That's what I want to say. Like, hi, we need some more information here, because it's hard. I mean, I can throw out some shady people like Betty's mom and God, we haven't even met Polly. It sounds silly to call her a suspect. Betty's mom and who's the other shady person? Grundy. But it's like, okay, Captain Obvious, you know. So I'm getting this comment a lot on my channel that Polly might not have had a mental breakdown, or she could have, but she could also be pregnant. Definitely a possibility. It seems like that town is kind of weird. Like, it's back in the 50s or something, but it's in present day. So it seems like some people have very antiquated thoughts about things. So, you know, I don't know, if someone gets pregnant, they ship them off somewhere. That sounds insane, but maybe, you know, her mom is so over the top. Maybe she's ashamed that her daughter was pregnant and by someone she hated, and, you know, she's not married or anything, so she had to ship her off. I don't know. There was definitely talk about mental illness in this episode near the end when the Grundy reveal happened, because Betty was talking about how everyone thinks their family is crazy. Like, her mom definitely has some issues. Her sister apparently, I mean, being in the mental hospital, has some issues. So we've got that, you know, theme of mental illness in some way. I'm not saying that Betty is mentally ill, because I don't really know. You know, she definitely seems okay from what we see, but we know she's on medication. So I don't know. I don't know where they're going to go with that. I don't know if they're exploring her as having a mental illness. I don't know. Fred was disappointed that Josie didn't appear, which was interesting because I made a big deal out of her last week. Every single week we've had a performance from Josie and the Pussycats, and we heard from her a little bit, but they weren't around. I thought basically they were just going to have a performance every week, which would be kind of stupid, but we didn't see her at all. I don't really know why. I feel like she's definitely a side character and is not going to be featured or have a part in the you know, drama or the mystery. That's kind of what I feel like, which I kind of enjoy when everyone is tied in some way. Not that everyone's a suspect, but everyone's connected or involved or whatever. And they just seem to be like side pieces. You know what I mean? They're just like side items. They're not really connected. Mr. HOD thinks that Betty's dad killed him. I don't know enough about Betty's dad to say that yet, but and I think Jughead's father is a jerk, and I don't know, he's a little bit too over the top. It's creepy to, you know, suspicious to be again, I mean, I just barely know like these people's dads. It's like, I don't know. I've seen some people say Veronica's dad could be the killer, and we don't even know him. Like, have we seen him? I don't think so. And I feel like everyone who has a thought about who's the killer, that's totally good. Like, I'm not trying to say anybody's theory is bad. It's just hard for me from the show standpoint because we're not getting the pieces of info to back any of that up. I mean, unless you guys, like, this is what I want to know. Like, do you guys have a suspect that you can be like, this is my suspect and here's 3 reasons why. And to me, like, Betty's mom, because she's crazy and shady, I don't, that's not to me a motive. She kind of has a motive, but I don't know. I don't enjoy shows where the people who end up being the killers are obvious, and over the top. So I tend to think when someone is over the top crazy, like Betty's mom or like Grundy, that they're not going to be the killer because, come on. Let's see. Richie's saying next week, hopefully we'll focus on Cheryl and her parents. So you're hoping to get more clues and reveals surrounding Jason's murder. I would love to see more flashbacks with Jason. Well, come on now. He is our main, you know, theme person of this season. And do we know him? I feel like we don't know him at all. Like, we've barely seen him. We've maybe barely heard him talk. I don't really remember. Jughead could be a suspect. Yes. Ferguson saying it's too early to come up with theories yet. Yeah, and we're only 4 episodes in. So, you know, we have to take that into consideration. Again, I'm not saying I dislike the show or anything like that. But as far as what we normally do in these chats and what I do in my videos, it's kind of hard. Because it's like, well, I don't really know who it could be because I don't have enough info about that. Racho says, because Archie Comics also made Sabrina the Teenage Witch, do you think we will see her in Riverdale? I know, like, you guys know a lot more about Archie Comics, or some of you do, than me, but I definitely think that they will, you know, introduce more people from the comics as time goes on, because they're going to have a new theme next year if we wrap up this Jason mystery. So I don't know what that's going to be, but we may need to introduce new comic book people. Callie says, if Kevin is the killer, nobody would suspect him because he's friends with everyone. Yeah, and I've seen a few people suggest that he is the killer. You know, like the #1 theme of any kind of mystery murder show. It's like the least suspecting person, the super nice person, the person you would never think would do it, a lot of times did it. So we have no reason, I don't have a reason to suspect Kevin. The only thing about him that could point that way is that he knew where Jason's body was. Maybe, maybe not. He found his body. Did he know? Was he trying to go there? I don't know. But sure, I really would much rather someone like him be the killer and have a motive that we don't know yet than someone who is completely insane and crazy acting be the obvious killer. Luna says, about the promo, yes, we need to talk about that. Looks like next week's episode will be relatively action-packed. I think so. I think we're going to move on from Grundy. I don't know if she's ever coming back, possibly, but I think that's, at this point, a dead topic. But I'm kind of hoping we do. Cheryl, Jason, and the Blossoms in general need more explanation. Yes. Vanessa's asking a question I asked in my reaction video, which I don't think anyone has answered yet in the comments from my video. But who do I think removed the photos on the sheriff's investigation board? And I think I saw someone else saying this before. But honestly, Kevin's dad reminds me so much of someone from Scream. Maybe it's the guy's dad in Scream who's also the sheriff, but and that murder board was so much Scream. It was like Screamish. I was like, oh my gosh. I don't know. I mean, I would have to think whoever did it could be our killer, because they're just trying to hide the evidence and they're worried maybe something ties that to them, but I don't know who the killers could be, so I don't really know. Firkin doesn't want Kevin to be the killer. I mean, he seems like a really nice guy, so if we want to keep him that way, I'm cool with that. I like him. But I don't know. Maybe he has some secrets. I don't know. Yes, Stavo's dad, for those of you who watch Scream. I'm just like, I feel like they're very similar, right? I don't know. William says the creator said they would introduce Sabrina, but they would do it in a way that's not supernatural and save the supernatural aspect for if she got her own show. And I like that, because if you guys know, I don't really like supernatural stuff, even though I do watch some shows with supernatural stuff, because for me, if they're not like all just about supernatural, sometimes the story is like so good, I don't really pay attention to the supernatural stuff. But you know, Luna says, you think it would be so cool if they introduce a group or one of Wiccans, modern witches, and focus on that next season. Yeah, I mean, that's cool. I feel like we haven't had a show. We don't have a show like that, right? I mean, we've had Vampire Diaries, but no shows about witches, which wasn't comedy. I mean, I feel like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, but that was a million years ago. Excuse me. Richie says, as far as the time frame for taking down the murder board, can't think of too many people who weren't already accounted for. Yeah, I mean, that's true. So I don't know. I don't know. Again, like, I just feel like we're missing a lot of pieces here, and it's to say who took that down. I don't know. I mean, it's hard. But you know, overall, I thought it was a good episode, and I'm just kind of upset with how, you know, yeah, we did have American Horror Story Kevin about witches, yes, but we don't have an actual series devoted to witches. I think we need that, you know, like a new witch series, Young Witches. I don't know. What I was going to say is I strongly feel that Grundy, they shouldn't have just let her be like, you know what, I'm going to resign. I mean, maybe I've already said this. I know I've replied to a lot of comments saying this, but I think they should have had her arrested, because even if she had nothing to do with Jason's murder, she cannot stop herself. Like, I feel like she's kind of like a drug addict. Like, she's right back looking for another young guy, like immediately, like no chill, you know? So, you know, come on, they should have put her away. And I do think, for those of you who think she's coming back, that definitely could happen, because they let her just walk away. You know, it's just kind of like, they shouldn't have done that. She should have suffered some sort of just losing her job. She's probably gone through a million jobs. That's not gonna, you know, help her or try to teach her a lesson. Fred is wondering if Veronica could have broken into the sheriff's office because she left the Twilight movie theater. Okay, that's a good idea. And I mean, now I don't know what the heck Veronica's motive could be. You know, she didn't grow up in this town. Obviously, her family has ties to it. I've seen some people comment on my videos that Veronica's the killer. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's really for me to even try to theorize that would be out of my control. I mean, like, I don't even know what I could say about that because I can't connect her to anything. But sure, at this point, hey, I'm not going to tell anyone that anyone's guess is wrong. The only people I don't want to be the killers are Grundy and Betty's mom because that's just lame and it's too easy. Oh, okay, The Witches of, I never watched that. So it was Jenna Dewan Tatum was in it? Interesting. Yeah, Mal, you can share your theory. Go ahead. Tobin says Grundy's whole victim story was incomplete. I believe that that was a lie. I mean, I hesitate to say that because, like, that's no joke. I mean, people who are domestically abused, like, you know, I mean, obviously she's not a real person, so I don't have to feel like I'm, you know, hurting her feelings or anything. But, you know, I don't want to be like, oh my God, I just felt like it was a lie, you know. But how sick is it if that is a lie and she's making up the fact that her husband beat her or whatever? Awful. Mal says one of your big theories is that Polly escaped the mental institution and murdered Jason. I mean, she was kind of the person that if you want to ask me right now who is the killer, that's who I think, but it sounds stupid for me to say it because I've never even met the girl, but just stuff that we know about her. Yeah, I mean, sure. The reason that I had her as a suspect is because from Betty saying she really was in love with Jason, but Jason didn't really care about her. So, you know, sometimes people, which it's not normal, I mean, but if they get broken up with, or if they think someone's going to break up with them and they're really thought the relationship was going great, they do things, you know, that they shouldn't be doing. But someone really wanted to kill Jason. It wasn't like they got into a fight and she accidentally killed him or pushed him. And I don't know, you know what I mean? Like someone planned it out. So it wasn't like, an accident or someone got really mad in the heat of the moment. It was planned out. Yeah, they snap and it's not, you know, but if she has some issues anyway, maybe if he told her, you know, I'm making all of this up because we don't know this happened. I'm just making things up. But, you know, if he said, I don't want to be with you anymore, or if she found out maybe he was, you know, sleeping with Grundy or if he had a new girlfriend or whatever. And she was just like, well, you know, if I can't have you, nobody can have you. So I'm going to kill you. That's my only theory, but that's completely made up. I mean, none of that stuff we know. None of it happened. Mr. HOD thinks Betty's dad killed Jason, which I think maybe you said that before or someone else did, because we don't really know him at all. Really. Yeah, I don't know. Luna Moon says, just had a weird thought. Maybe Miss Grundy was transitioning from Jennifer to Geraldine and in the process had an affair with Jason. Her husband found out and killed him. I mean, I don't know, because we've never met this so-called husband, if that's even a true story. Sure. I mean, you know, I think it's kind of like I'm making up a story, so I don't know. The Good Witch is a comedy and drama. I feel like I've heard of that, but I definitely haven't seen it. Okay. Or am I thinking of The Good Wife? I don't know. Is it a show or is it a movie? Okay. Yeah, so maybe the motive about killing Jason is because of something his parents did and they're wanting to pay back his parents. You know, I don't know. But what my main hope for this show is in the next couple of weeks, especially with the Polly episode, that we find out, you know, more stuff so that we can actually think, oh, this, you know, this person definitely could, not that it just singles out one person, but that a couple or people look like they could definitely be suspects. Tomas says maybe Grundy's husband arrives to Riverdale and exposes Grundy's story. Well, I mean, you know, I just feel like we found out so much dirt about her. She has a fake ID. I guess I can't believe she told that story to Archie. Well, I guess I kind of can believe because he's kind of really infatuated with her. And he was just like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, you know, whatever. Like he just believed her. Like no one investigated it. But we'll have to see where they go with that. If they're going to keep bringing her up or if she disappears or if she's gone forever. I don't know. I don't know where they're going with that. Mal is wondering if they're going to kill another character. Veronica or Kevin's new like love interest. Maybe. I don't know. I hope they don't kill Veronica. I mean, I feel like they won't because she's like a main character. And the other big question, thank you, Tobin, that we've had for a couple weeks at least, is why did Jason want to run away? So, you know, I doubt that he ran away because he thought Polly was going to kill him. Surely not. Maybe, I don't know. But there was something big, big, big going on in his life that he wanted to run away and he wanted to fake not just run away, but fake his death. And he told his sister about it and she was in on it. So something, you know, something big. but who knows what that is? I cannot theorize about that. I don't know. Callie says in the comics, Veronica has a crush on Kevin. If it happens in the series, Veronica is maybe the killer because she doesn't like being rejected. But do you think she's going to have a crush on Kevin, though, since he's not into girls? I don't know if you're saying she's going to have a crush on him. I don't know. Jesse says you definitely don't want the killer to be a parent. I definitely don't want that. I'm with you on that. That's lame. But you have a feeling it's going to play out that way. That's lame. Believe me. Firkin says you really like the friendship between B and V and Archie. I like it too. And it's not just a love triangle. I'm with you. And I like all three of those characters. And I'm really honestly hoping none of them is the killer, because I just don't know how they would continue a series that's brand new and make one of your main people a killer. Like, what does that do? Where do they go? Maybe they have a great plan. I don't know. Yeah, and this is something else I think I've seen a couple times on my channel as a comment, that Kevin, if he's the killer, was in love with Jason. They maybe had something going on and Jason broke it off, or he wanted to be with Jason. Jason didn't want to be with him. I don't know. Definitely could be a possibility. We need more info. Mama is wondering, what if Chuck is murdered and Betty and Veronica are suspects? Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know. Maybe we should start writing the show. We have a lot of ideas. You know, Archie's kind of a weak person. Fred's saying, I'm slowly liking Archie a little less. He really showed how weak he was, I think, in this episode by just, I mean, it just made me feel sick when he kept being with this woman. I mean, I guess he did finally break it off, and then he believed her crazy story. I don't know. Tomas thinks one of the parents is definitely going to die, and maybe the sheriff. Maybe, yes. Tobin says Betty being the killer would be great for following series. They'll have to keep a horrible secret from their friend. Now, I mean, that is the only way I think that I see them doing one of the main characters being the killer, is that the viewers know, which would be really cool, really. The viewers know Betty or Veronica or whoever killed Jason, but the rest of the town doesn't know. I kind of like that, you know? Which, if you guys watch Dexter, I feel like I'm always referencing Dexter. It's like the viewers knew what Dexter was really doing. That's a good show if you haven't watched it until the end, which sucks. But like, the viewers knew, but the people who he knew and his friends and everything had no idea. Even his wife and everything. So, Richie is glad Archie didn't dramatically blame Betty for what happened. And me too. Now that was, honestly, that was good on him, because I felt bad for her. She wrote all that stuff in the diary, which is old school. I don't know if anyone still does that, but anyway. But yeah, I mean, I felt like he could have really freaked out, because she basically exposed everything. I mean, the thing about it is that she did not mean to expose it. She didn't go tell her mom or whatever. Her mom is crazy and was snooping and found it, but he could have definitely freaked out, you know? Jelly Ellie wants to know if I think Betty and Polly are twins, and Polly's pretending to be Betty and the real Betty. And then, I mean, I feel like Polly is an actual person. I don't feel like Betty feels like she's Polly sometimes, but I don't know if they're twins. I don't know if they've given us enough information. I feel like I've seen things that tell me that Polly is older, but I don't know if that's people thinking she's older or if it's been said that she's older or what. Yeah, Dexter is really good. It's a very different take on a mystery. Thank you, Mal. I appreciate it. And I just have to tell you that the very end of the series is just, but you need to watch it. There's one season that will blow your mind away. It's amazing. Yeah, so Polly is an actual person that's been casted as Polly. So I don't feel like they're going to have her as a twin or as a, yeah, that makes sense, right? Or as a, you know, alternate personality or something. Mr. HOD thinks Jason bullied or knew Jughead was homeless and he had enough. Okay, so we could have that drama there. I know I talk about Dexter a lot, I guess because I really love the series, and it is the worst series ending I've ever seen in my life. And True Bloods was pretty bad, but this was worse. Luna thinks maybe the killer is two people and they're basically relying on each other to keep the charade going. Definitely could be. We could have 2 killers, 3 killers. I don't know. Absolutely, maybe. Vanessa asked if I watched Revenge. I did watch Revenge. The main character plays 2 people, but there's actually yes, you're right. You're right. I quit watching Revenge for some reason. I don't know if it ended up being good. I don't know if I got bored. I used to really, that would have been a show that I would have done for this channel. Like, I would have loved to do that with you guys. It was really good for a long time. And I don't know if I just got behind or if I got bored with it. I used to love it though. What is HIMYM? I know what that is. HIMYM. What is that? Richie says you don't know if Betty legitimately did not remember the thing with Chuck and the hot tub, or if she was just denied. I don't know. That's a little shady, right? I don't know. That was weird, right? how Vanessa never finished watching it. I mean, it's so weird about that show, Revenge. It was like I was watching it. Oh, really? The Revenge finale is mind-blowing. Man, I need to come back to it. Oh, How I Met Your Mother. Yes, I never watched that. Is that the one people freaked about the finale, right? The series finale? I remember that. But Revenge, I know I'm off topic. Revenge was like so good, and I'm trying to figure out why I quit watching it. I used to watch, I was really behind, and I watched it on the ABC app. And then I thought it was so good, but like, that makes me sad that it ended really well because, oh my God, I love that. I love the girl who played the lead. I need to come back to it. Let me tell you about something I'm thinking about doing once I finish, if you guys would be interested. And just a heads up for those of you who might be interested who haven't watched this, and then we'll go because it's about time to go. Anyway, Black Mirror, I suggested that maybe in this chat last week. Black Mirror is a series with standalone episodes, 3 seasons, but not very many episodes, like maybe 5 or 6 each season. So I'm thinking about doing a Black Mirror live chat. I don't know if that'll be next week or the next week, but I want to give people time if they want to watch them. I'm going to be doing the chat about, you know, anything is open. Like, I want you to be, if you want to come to the chat, like, I'm hoping that you've seen all of the episodes. And like I said, there's not that many episodes, so we might do it 2 to 3 weeks from now. So if you do want to start the series to join the chat, you can do that. But I just want to let you know going in, we will be covering any episodes you guys want to talk about. So if you don't want to be spoiled by anything, that's a heads up. Black Mirror is kind of like the show Twilight Zone that used to be on a billion years ago. I think they redid the Twilight Zone like the 90s or something. But it's really cool. I just love it so much. And there's so much I want to talk to you guys about, especially how some of the episodes have the same continuing theme, if you guys have picked up on that. But it's on Netflix. And if you don't have access to Netflix, I really am sorry, because I know not everyone does. But if you do, and over the next couple of weeks, if you want to start watching it, it's really good. Every show kind of is a mystery. Some of them have crazy reveals. There's a couple of episodes, and as much as I love to theorize, they blew my mind. I was like, no way. One in particular, I'll give you the name of it, was called Playtest. And I was like, I got it figured out. And then they switched. They kept having so many twists. Like, there's probably 5 or 6 twists, and it's just a 1 episode thing. I would figure it out, and I was like, nope, I'm wrong. And then I think I would figure it out, and I was like, oh my God, no, I'm wrong again. Like, it was good because of the mind games they played with you. All the Black Mirror episodes take place in the same universe. I definitely feel that because there's themes throughout all the episodes that I'm seeing. So anyway, I'm going to give you guys time. I don't want to delve into a bunch of these episodes and some of you want to watch and haven't seen it. So we'll devote a whole live chat, maybe 45 minutes or something, to the entire series. So just a heads up, if you want to watch them now over the next couple of weeks, let me know, and I'll make an announcement when I'm thinking about doing it. And then if some people say they're still catching up, we can wait. I am going to watch Big Little Lies, but I don't plan on covering it for my channel. I plan on just watching that for fun. Nosedive was really good, yes. But anyway, another promotion. Of course, I'm never sponsored by any of these people, but another promotion for just because I love it, and I think you guys would love it too, for Black Mirror. But it is time to wrap this up. I want to let you guys know that I will have a theory video of sorts. I don't really know what I'm theorizing about this week, or an extended thoughts video about this week's episode up tomorrow. So if you're new here, I would appreciate it so much if you would subscribe and then react to this video by thumbsing it up. And of course, you can comment. If I missed your comment, I'll come back and I will reply to that later tonight. But I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you tomorrow with new videos. Bye, guys.